Well, good morning, everyone. Good Saturday. Great to have you here. Today, it's a critical training segment that we want to share with you. Last year we did a lot of modules that has to do with what we call the success series cycles, or I should say, the money making activities. These are the kind of trainings that are giving you the basic knowledge to go out there and prospect, invite, follow up, get people started right, and all of these things. At the beginning of the year, we started with the training, what we call the 2030, to kind of give you a kickstart with some accountability calls for you that you're very welcome to join. Now, this session today, we want to talk about choose to lead. And here's why this is so important. Because what happens is in an organization, very often people tend to question themselves, what am I doing wrong? I sponsored all these people on my team and nobody's doing anything at all. It is flat. Nobody's recruiting, nobody's doing anything. And there's a reason for that. And that's the reason why this training, Choose to Lead, is so important. Because those of you that will take action on this knowledge that we will share with you here today, will be the ones that are going to thrive in 2024 and so on. So this is kind of the foundation that Tammy and I want to give you to get started and to give you the right mindset for this training today. So, of course, this call is recorded. It is recorded on the GotBackUp channel, but it's also, we do have reference to it on our board. I know many of you have access to the board. And if you need to have access to it, we can post them here, but I'm sure everybody has. We have that on our Telegram group on a regular basis. We post this information. And the fact is, again, I really want to congratulate you for taking the time. And I know many of you here are signing in this morning. And Paul, happy to have you here, and nice to see you. Special Care Laundry Service. I know that there's a real person behind that name. Great to have you here. So at the end of the day, folks, we're grateful to see you here. Nikki, Pierre Jean, oh, welcome. PJ, nice to have you here, my friend. Louis, we have Inyunam from Ghana. We have Kim, we have William, we have Belinda, we have David, we have Russ. We have, let's see here. Asa, Alim, welcome. We have Michelle, we have Paul, we have Bill. Hey, Bill, how are you, buddy? Kim, we have here Gerwin98. How are you? Welcome. So, Anne, nice to see you here. Welcome. Jingle, welcome. Thank you for joining in. So at this point, what Tammy and I here are going to shift our screen so we can share with you the beginning stage on choosing to lead. Back to you, Tammy.
So the big question is, what is leadership? What is being a leader to you? I just take a moment and write down a couple of characteristics that you think a leader is, because throughout this session, we're going to talk a lot about the importance of leadership, and it all starts with you. I remember when I first got involved in the industry 28 years ago. I picked up a book. I think it was Randy Gage back in the day. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where that book is, but it was such a small read. But, the first circle is you. And it's all about developing you first. And then, of course, we got more and more into learning about leadership. And John C. Maxwell has played a huge role in Chris and my life when it comes to leading any part of our life, actually, and especially in business, and the importance of leadership. And it's all about developing you first. So John C. Maxwell has phenomenal books. I highly recommend to take the time on a daily basis and read a little bit. And leadership books are so important if you want to build an organization. I mean, if you want to make money, you got to build an organization. So If you want to build an organization, you got to learn about leadership, and you got to learn to lead yourself first before you can lead anybody else. So I find this training is extremely important for all of us, sometimes even a wake-up call for all of us, because if the team is not growing, often, we all have to look in the mirror. Are we leading? Are we being effective leaders? In inspiring people and motivating people and giving people those daily actionable tasks, to creating accountability. I mean, all that stuff. And we're going to talk about this through the training. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but go ahead, Chris.
No, that's totally fine. And in fact, Kim, I really appreciate what you share there, because this is a very serious foundation of what leadership represent, right? Independence, problem solver, being consistent, a visionary, master of assignment, developing others. I don't know if this came from Eric or something that we shared, because we often share what Eric shares, but you're absolutely dead on dead on here, Kim. And the fact that you need to understand, before I move on to the next slide here, is very often you will see there's moments in the year where, for example, GotBackUp will get into momentum. There's recently we've introduced a VIP program. We got into some momentum, but you'll notice that momentum, it goes up and then it gets into a curve, and it gets into that bell curve position where it's going to start going down again. And here's the thing: if you want to keep that curve, or I should say that line, that graph, as high as possible, and keep it up there and not going down with the bell curve that goes all the way down to the bottom, we consolidate again. What's important is there is another line underneath here. Okay, so there's two lines. There's one here at the top and the one at the bottom. This is the leadership that is forming as you are in momentum. And if you are in momentum and the leadership is down there, here's what's going to happen. Here's the reality of your business and your life. When you look at that bell curve, it will keep going down and down and down and down. Do you know where it stops? It will stop where the leadership begins. Because when there's leadership within your organization, there will be structure. There will be systems. There will be motivation. There will be motivations, right? There will be consistency, as Kim was alluded earlier. So the point here is, what we want to show you and help you develop is your leadership. Don't wait on someone else to lead you. You need to lead yourself, and in the process, lead others. So, for example, what are the act of leadership, right? And the act of leadership is recognition and daily actions, right? So the significance of recognition, recognizing small gestures. Why do you think that GotBackUp in the VIP program has this section where you can create a beautiful capture page while you are recognizing some of your top leadership? Why do you think that there is another link at the bottom that you have the VIP or not, where you can actually recognize the people that are reaching the pin level? Are you paying attention to that? Some of you have sponsored people in your business, and you're completely ignoring the fact that some of those people that you sponsored have reached a level of silver, the level of gold, the level of platinum. And then it gets into sapphire and on and on and on. So the point here is, are you paying attention to these things? Because these gestures, even a bronze associate, if you have 10 people on your team and you got 3 people that became bronze, here's an opportunity to propel your business by recognize those 3 bronzes in your 10 members in your team. Do you understand? And these 3 people that we recognize, you know the expression, babies cry for it and adults die for it. People are looking for this recognition, and that could be the only recognition they got this year. Now, this year just started a few weeks ago, but in our lives. I'm not kidding. So my point in saying is, significant recognition, even the small gestures will grow, right? Is the right daily consistent activities that could actually impact your business, and that can also impact the world. Folks, I don't know if you realize, but this industry of network marketing, MLM, this is the industry that can actually break the cycle of poverty within communities. It's very, very powerful. It's all about impacting others, right? Leadership needs to be recognized and celebrated. If you are not utilizing that into your business, and God Backup as everything in the back office for you, it's all cook. You just need to grab it and serve it, if you understand my expression. Post it. Now, many of you that are part of our Telegram group, the God Backup Telegram group, I recommend start posting recognition within your team, especially your personals. So many of you are ignoring that. And that is a significant part of your business, which will grow your leadership. And the people in your downline will admire you and respect you for that. Food for thought.
I think celebrating others too, regardless whether it's in your organization, is absolutely critical. Is to be constantly active in activities, and that's what's going to elevate you and excite other people as well. So I love this slide because emotional quotient versus intelligence quotient is really important to understand. EQ. Let's just use EQ. In a study comparing average leaders to outstanding leaders, 90% of the variance was due to the emotional quotient, EQ. The most crucial factor that will predict if you step up and take the lead in your business and in your life. And IQ, which is, it's important to be smart, right? It's important to have a good IQ. But if you compare people in network marketing, it's not their IQ or their personality that will make them successful. Often people say, well, I'm not smart enough. I don't know this. I don't know that. Wrong. It's about connection. So it's their EQ. This study also demonstrated that developing leadership skills without considering the cognitive strength led to minimal improvement in their abilities to lead others. I know a lot of people that are very, very, very intelligent. And I think that I love that. I'm always like, oh my gosh, if I just had, their smarts, their skills. I didn't do well in school, but I had developed that street smart, that connection, the connectability, all of that stuff over the years, and really, really focused on building in relationships. No matter what I did in team sports, and as I was a swimsuit designer, I had employees, just making those connections, just making people feel important. That served me extremely well in the network marketing space. At the beginning, I was like everybody else. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to learn all of this stuff, and all of that will come over time. But it's the being there, being present, and connecting with people on an emotional level will make a huge difference as you lead in your business.
I totally agree, Tammy. And there's a really good question here. Uh, Leather Num Preach. I'm not sure if that's your name, or anyway, Heather Leather. It's the question here is very, very well received here. Is how do I pass that? Who do you think you are? Right. So some people, it's really funny, but I'll be honest. I've never come across a situation like that in my entire life. And let me tell you why. It's the way you position yourself in leading, right? Sometimes what happens is we mean well in leading others, but the way we lead, and again, I have no idea what your ecosystem looks like in your own life and the way you interact with folks. So it's difficult for me to tell you exactly how to help you in this particular situation. But I can tell you generally, people will always respect someone that want to help them, that will recognize even the smallest gesture that they've done, opposed to telling them what to do. It may come across as dictatorship. It was not meant to be that way, but it's possibly come across that way. And that's experience. So I don't know if that helps a little bit, but at the end of the day, start in small steps. Just acknowledging people's gesture. people's activities. Whatever small success that you have recognized, and it has to be genuine, right? You don't want to just recognize something that is kind of phony, right? People will see right through you. So you have to use common sense. I'm sure everybody understands what I'm talking about here. But generally, that is where I would begin. And on this slide here is leading others, and it goes to that. In fact, it's kind of in line with kind of my answer. It's about people development, and one of the things that we need to understand is often people look at network marketing as this this wish well, right? I got started, and some people are underneath me, and I just need to sit back and wait, and eventually there's going to be a downline. I'm going to make money. That's not the reality. The reality is network marketing, it's a business. It's just like you starting an enterprise, and you start telling others about this enterprise, and people are starting knocking on your door, and they're interested in what you have to offer. And eventually there are more customers coming in, and other customers are very happy with what they got. They will tell other customers, and which in turn it will continue to expand. But what happens is, why this has occurred is because you took the steps. But in the same time, there's also going to be some personal development that will occur in the process as you start interacting with people and you start helping people. It's really interesting how much you will learn in the process of helping others, right? So being a catalyst of positive event. There's so much negative, excuse me the expression, but there's so much negative crap every day. Here's another war. Here's another thing. Here's another this. Here's the economy. Blah, 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 blah. All you hear is negative crap all the time, day and night. And if all you focus is that, well, guess what your life will look like? It will be a reflection of what you keep focusing your attention on. Be mindful of that. And look for positive things, because there are a lot of positive things that are going around. They're just ignored, because we're constantly taught in our environment to focus on what's not working opposed to what's working. So focus on positive things. Going back to someone that reached the bronze level, the silver level, whatever level they've reached, focused on that. Don't nitty-gritty details, problems every step of the way, and just be completely consumed with what's not working. Because I'm telling you, your life will be a reflection of that. But be an influence on others' lives, right? So again, it goes back to complementing their decisions. And I'm not just talking about their GotBackUp business or whatever business they're into, but again, to acknowledge what they're doing, acknowledge the fact that they made a decision to move forward with a business like this, right? And you will recognize also the impact that you have. It goes way beyond money and power. This is what our leaders of our time that are running our countries are missing. They lose the connection with the people. They're in a different world, in a different ecosystem, completely ignoring what's really going on in the world, what people want, what people need. You be that leader. You be that leader. And this could begin with your GotBackUp business, your network marketing business. Lead your team by recognizing a small gesture, recognizing the areas that we all need to work on. One thing that you could talk about is, say, I need to work on my communication skills. I need to read more books. I need to read more books on when it comes to leadership, developing leadership, how to inspire someone, how to influence others, right? There's great books that are out there. So the fact here is, as acknowledging that you need to evolve there, other people, you don't have to tell them. They will also acknowledge that on themselves. So indirectly, you're telling them what they should also be focusing on in personal growth. This is so important. Again, baby steps. Start by acknowledging the small things. As it evolves, I'm telling you, you will evolve with the process.
Yeah. And the best way to grow, you guys, is to be out there connecting with people. That you learn so much by connecting with other people. And so I this is all part of the leadership development part of it, becoming a leader. And in network marketing, this is If you're going to grow ranks, you're going to have team members that are hitting their first rank. You're going to have team members hitting their second rank, their third rank, and you'll be leading them along the way. So once you hit your first rank, then you're going to be able to easily inspire, lead, guide them to hit their first rank, because you know what to do to get them to hit the first rank. You've already done it. So you don't have to be this big superstar leader. Okay. You can lead at every single level. In the process, you're becoming that leader. So when you become a leader, whether it's in life or in your business, you empower yourself to lead, and of course leading towards your dreams and your goals. Okay, so it is absolutely the best gift you'll ever give yourself, is learning leadership skills. So let's go a little bit into the practical part of it. Once you start developing yourself, you're going to lead a productive, abundant life in your regular life and in your business, because it all reflects. So for example, how you treat your business is how you're going to treat your workouts. It's how you're going to treat, if you want to have a good nutritional plan, how you treat that. It's all the same. How you wake up in the morning, mindset, all of this. Okay. So once you develop that leader within, you'll lead yourself in many ways in your life, and through your family as well. Everything is going to improve, and you'll see when you start doing it. Okay. You'll increase your resilience and the ability to perform without the pressure of stress. Yeah. You just get so comfortable leading. It's just part of your life. It's easy for us today, but was it easy when we first started? No, it wasn't easy. We had to develop ourselves so that we had the ability to help others and guide others to get the experiences that we've went through, and of course their own experiences. So it all starts with you. You'll improve your relationships. That is absolutely accurate. It's especially as somebody who's an introvert. I know I can be an extrovert. People might see me and go, "Oh my gosh, she's such an extrovert." Yes, I am, but there's times where I am an introvert. I was very, very shy. When I was very young, I was very shy. Somebody would knock on the door, I'd be running behind my mom. And, even in school, I had a difficult time in school because I was so shy. And then I started to get into sports, get into team activities. Once I started doing that, I started to come out of my shell a little bit. But there's things that, that happens along the way that will improve yourself and, of course, the relationships. And you'll see, you'll come out of your shell just like I did. You'll become a better communicator. Absolutely will become a better communicator. You'll conquer self-awareness and self-confidence, and of course, courage. So that's what I keep telling all of you. It's the practice every single day. Pick somebody in your organization that's willing to take this business to a whole new level and guide them. And you'll see, you'll grow along the way and build your own posture and courage in the process. You'll perceive trustworthiness. It's so important. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. If you don't get a good response from people, it's because you haven't built that with them. Okay, so it's important that you have that trust first, because when you start guiding and leading people, they need to believe in you. Okay, so for example, sometimes people are going to talk to you and they're going to share something very confident, and they're going to open up, and it's an emotional journey for them. And you need to be aware that they believe in you, and you don't go and share this stuff with other people. This is a no-no. you know, because they believe that you're there to help them succeed, and you'll do whatever it takes to help them. And it's nobody's business what you're doing within each person that you're guiding in the process. So I find that that is a big one, you guys, because I've seen lots of people tarnish relationships because they shared with other people some confident things that was shared to help that person get over that hurdle that they might be going on in their life, in their family life, or whatever that is preventing them to do the things that's necessary for them to build their business, to build their confidence. Okay, so just some tips here and there that we're kind of throwing in to help you.
Absolutely dead on.
Thank you, Dr. Koa. Okay, away.
Now, here's the thing, folks, the truth about leadership. You see, leadership is the foundation of all organization. If an organization is able to survive the difficult times or to thrive in good times, but they went through the difficult times, the reason why this has happened is because the foundation of leadership is there. But the truth about leadership is not a natural skill for most people. Right? According to the research, the best leaders are the ones that have growth mindset. They're always looking to evolve. For example, Tammy and I understand that it's expensive, but we're staying close to the inner core of Eric Worre. Why do we choose to do that? And I've mentioned on past calls, because he has an ecosystem of people around him that are earning 6-figure and 7-figure monthly in network marketing. This is the real solid stuff. And to be able to get there, you want to surround yourself around those kind of people to have the right mindset. And this is what I mean by having a growth mindset. With a growth mindset is a belief that skills can be developed with dedication and hard work. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. So the right leadership is a skill that you can develop with time, patience, and practice. If you're coming across some resistance, you may want to look at your approach on how you go about doing things. Are you leading or dictating? And you may not realize that you're dictating. It might just be a style that you've been exposed to through your upbringing. And as far as you're concerned, it's totally normal. But that's why these books, like The 5 Levels of Leadership from John C. Maxwell, is a great read. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Carl Carnegie, right? There's another one that might be a little bit controversial by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Phenomenal book. And I recommend to buy the audiobook because it's kind of entertaining how he does the two. So, I mean, these are great, great books. Napoleon Hill, it's just a brilliant mind. So the fact here, folks, is the patience and the practice, and keep practicing your leadership skill. Don't wait for your upline or the company leader to do the work for you. Whatever they do should be in conjunction to your stages, your steps of leadership, right? The right leadership is the behavior can also influence the mindset of others. If you have the right mindset, you'll actually, on a positive sense of the word, infect others with his positive mindset, which the entire group will benefit from. That's the difference between a thriving team and a team that's in starvation, is that the leadership is constantly cultured and nurtured, right? So the environment in which you are, so you as a leader is the environment that you create around you. How does your team feel about you? And excuse me, how does your team feel around your leadership? And folks, I understand that it's not easy to change overnight, but we're not expecting you to change overnight. We're expecting you to have the light bulb that they're lighting up to recognize, oh, maybe that's what I should work on. I should work on my leadership skills. because I'm telling you that the level of your leadership skills will be a strong reflection to your income, and not just your income, but your downline's income. Because understand, your income is heavily impacted by your downline's income. It's not just about you making all the money. It doesn't work that way. It's a chain reaction. That's why I love network marketing. You can't be at the top if there's people on your downline that are not at the top. It's just the way the system works, right? So the environment in which they are, that you create within your leadership skills, right? The cohesion and the efficiency of a group also be defined by the leadership that's occurring. Are you duplicating the leadership? Or are you dictating someone, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to get to work, you have to do your calls, you got to do your follow-up. Have you done this? Have you done that? No, nobody wants that. That actually gets in people's nerves. So what you want is you want to inspire people to do the calls. You want to inspire people to do the steps. You want to inspire people to evolve and develop their own leadership, because they know if they develop their own leadership, their income will grow. And I know there's more than income. I'm just using that as an example, right? So it can also influence the amount of conflicts that is experienced within a group. If you find that there's a lot of fighting within your groups, you really need to work on how to mediate all of that. And I can tell you one thing, that often when there's challenges that happen within an organization, has to do with gossip talk. Avoid this at all costs. If anyone comes to you with a negative comment about someone else, just because that's how they live their lives and how they communicate, right? To have something to say. And I'm not saying to make them feel bad about it, but change the conversation to a more positive approach. Do you understand what I mean? This is the difference between a leader that will influence the right behavior within an organization. And whenever there's issues, never take sides. Will never serve you well. Always take an objective position and understand what's going on. Initiate a conversation between the two if it's possible. And there's many different approaches to that. But I'm just saying is to become a good mediator is very important. Because a great organization can implode because of the conflicts and the issue that happens. And folks, we are human beings. It's part of our nature. It's what we do. It's how you deal with the challenges that will define the results that you're going to have. That's what we talked about today, how important leadership is. That's what I'm saying. When your team is in momentum at one period of time, if you want to stay up there, and it's normal that things comes down. It's normal. There's always going to be a peak. I mean, look at the stock market. It goes parabolic for a minute, and suddenly, woo, it goes back down. It goes back down to its state. And whatever that state is, it'll step there. And then when it foundation, and then it's going to start going up again. But you'll find that if things goes well, it will never go below normally. If things goes well, then it actually started. It will always be a step higher. Okay. And that's what happens in momentum. But what's maintaining the growth of your business and what will stop the decline of that bell curve is the level of leadership that is within your organization, starting with you. Don't wait about what if my upline did for me lately. Is my upline building my right side for me because I'm building the left side? This is not the right way to think. You will never grow a mammoth organization with this kind of mindset. The fact is, it's your responsibility to build your business. It is your business. And if you happen to have an upline that's active, doing great things, wonderful. But it's not about them. It's about you. You take the role and lead others. And you will find that through these activities, your business will grow. Your income will grow. Your results will grow. Back to you, Tammy.
It's so true. We always look down. How can we serve? How can we help people within the organization? And, you know, Chris and I always have that mindset of one company, one team, even if it's sideline. We always welcome people to join in, because sometimes people come into this business and they don't have any support. Often people come into this business and A brand new person just got started today. They signed up 3 new people today. They don't know what the heck to do, right? They're new. They're just kind of trying to figure it out themselves. So it's important to just plug people in until you can develop yourself, and then you want to be there for your people. Be there for your people because your people need you. And sometimes it's not just business. Okay, it's sometimes they're stuck. No names mentioned, but I had a conversation with somebody that's been quiet for a while, and I gave this person a call, and this person was so pumped after the session, went out and got a new business partner that day. So, these are things that we do, we nurture, we care for, we help develop, we guide, we do all these things. So always look down, never look up, because you want to help the people within your organization. And if you do this, people know how genuine you are when you're there doing this within your organization. I mean, you can't do anything about people who go missing in action. I call them MIA, missing in action, because that happens. People go missing in action, but it doesn't mean you never talk to them ever again. You got to reach out. Sometimes people are hurting. Sometimes something happened in their lives, and get back to them. And this is how you constantly culture a healthy, happy organization that are always wanting to thrive and work together. Okay. So the 15 questions that you want to ask yourself, that's going to define you as a leader, right? These are things that Chris and I constantly worked on, is the questions that we asked ourselves so that we can improve ourselves. I got to look on this side because my screen is so small. Can you identify your 3 main strengths? What are your 3 main strengths? Write those things down. You know what? Do even better. This should be numbered, by the way. It's so number 1 is, can you identify your 3 main strengths? Take a screenshot of this. You can do this after, but write those 3 things down if you're doing it as we're talking. What are your 3 main strengths? And you want to always keep focusing on your strength, but you do need to work on the things that you're missing in the strengths. Even write some of those things down, because it's going to help you in your development. Okay. Can you identify your 3 main areas of concern, where you're at in all of this? What is the biggest concern right now in your ability to become a leader? Okay. I've had people that said that they don't want to be a leader. And I asked them why. Is because they didn't feel that they had the leadership ability. Everybody has a leadership ability if they truly desired. I mean, they've led people in their life. We've all done it. We've all led in different areas of our life. So business is the same. You just help and guide and lead people at the level that you're at. You most likely you can't lead them beyond the level that you're at. So as you grow in levels, you can help people get to that level because you know what to do. You know what it takes to get there. So do your actions reflect your words and your values? This is huge. This is huge. I am totally into, and all of you guys know us. Some of you are just getting to know us, but those of you who do know us, walk the talk is who we are. And people want to follow people who know where they're going. People want to follow people who do the actions to get there. Okay, don't just talk and do nothing, because that is not great leadership. Okay, anybody can talk and do nothing. Okay, it's walk the talk and bringing value constantly. Bring value, bring something that can help you improve, bring something that can help others improve. Do you listen carefully to the ideas of those who disagree with you? This is really, really important too. We need to really embrace listening skills and always understand where people are coming from, rather than just having that wall or that judgment right away and block That is not good to have. We probably all have a little bit of that in us, but these are things that you need to work on to become a great leader. Are you bold enough to ask for feedback on your behavior, and use the information you gather as a tool to help yourself become better? Have you ever contacted the people in your team and asked them, what are some of the things that you could do better? Have you ever done that with your team? This is a really good practice. And getting them to be really truthful and authentic with no judgment to them, because they can help you grow by recognizing things that you might not see in yourself. Okay? And this is a great practice. When others do something wrong, do you take the time to help them see what they need to change and how they can solve the problem? Do you take the time with people to do this? Because I'm telling you, when you reach out and you take the time and you help people overcome some of these hurdles, they will be so not just grateful, they will be some of your biggest stars in your organization. You'll see when you start applying this stuff in your business. Do you have the ability to access the state of your environment and to shape it to be better? We all have environments that are not so healthy. And do you know how to snap out of that? Mindset is a big one. That's what's coming to mind for me right now. Mindset. You can wake up in the morning and just everything tumbles. But if you wake up in the morning in gratitude and you start communicating all this gratitude and positive things that you're going to put out there for the day, your intentions, your goals, your actions, and moving towards it, then you're going to have an environment that is healthy. But if you get out of bed and you're tired and you don't feel like it, and you don't want to go to the gym, and all this stuff will snowball into your business, snowball into how your day is going to turn out for you. So these are things that we're human beings. We all have to practice this. Often when I'm tired, I can just go right into that mindset, right? So I have to tell myself how energetic I am. I got to do the things that are going to make myself energetic. Get to the gym. That's the best thing. When I go to the gym and I start getting into it, my mindset changes. My attitude changes. My creativity flows. I come out of the gym and I just feel so good about myself. And my muscles feel good. And I just want to eat healthy all day long because I just feel good. And you just put everything you got into the people when you do stuff that make you feel good. Okay, so these are all the things that you want to define yourself through the year, and you'll see your whole life is going to change when you do this. And Chris, you can go ahead with the next ones. I think the next one starts with 8. Yeah, we have to fix the numbers. Yeah.
That's all good. We'll fix that later. So back to in continuing the 15 question that helps you define your leadership ability. I also have to look on the right side because it's too small for me to look at the monitor, too far away from me. So these are really good questions to ask yourselves. Again, always remember that the strength of your organization is only as strong as its leadership. If there's no leaders in your team, it may have a lot to do in the way you lead your team. Are you the kind of person that handles all problems for everybody? Or do you participate in helping them solve their problems? Instead of, let me handle it, so I'll take care of it. And I know why we do that. It's because we want to maximize volume every month, and we don't want to lose any volume or any activities. And for that, we handle it all. But the problem is you tend to enable your team, and your team is not going to develop its own wings, and you're going to clip their wings eventually because they get used to the fact that mommy or puppy is always there to handle all my problems. So this is very important. So very, very important as a leader, I'll step back for a minute and let people figure it out, but I'm not going to leave them in the mess. I'm going to say, okay, here are the situation. Here's what I would do. And then they go ahead and do it. And now what's happening is they come back super excited because the problem solved. Not only it's solved, but the situation got better. So do you have the ability to communicate the vision of your goal? Because this is a big part of presenting. Presenting, it's not about being a great presenter. It's about sharing the vision with others, which is the reason why you'll become a great presenter. It's for people to see the potential. When I explain to someone GotBackUp, for example, and I'm talking about this opportunity, very often, and you hear me say that if you've listened to our presentations, I will reference Dropbox. Dropbox doesn't pay you, but they have 700 million users. We're crossing, I don't know, maybe around 40,000 or so. So we're just at the infancy of growth. And I assure that Dropbox, I remember when Dropbox started, nobody knew who they were. There were nobodies. But eventually they grew. I assure you that GotBackUp will get there. And as they evolve, everything will improve, everything changes, everything evolves, right? So my point here is, are you able to communicate the vision and the goal within your organization? Because I assure you that people get stagnated very quickly, very, very momentum. It very slows down very quickly. People are excited for a day, and the next day they're discouraged again. So you need to have that environment for people to go ahead, Tammy.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. You have to have this environment to share the vision that are in line with the goals, your goals, and the goals of your organization. And often your goals could also become your organization goals, right? Do you have the ability to mobilize people, right? To help people be grounded and to see the bigger picture? Do you have the propensity to encourage rather than criticize? Again, it goes back with our upbringing. Maybe in your upbringing, you were criticized your entire life. So for you, this is how the steps of evolving is all about. It's criticizing to improve. But not everybody will be receptive to that. And they don't know your upbringing. They don't understand why you say to say. They will just understand the way they perceive it. And this is often the reason why someone may turn around and says, who are you to tell me this or to tell me that? Because they may come across that way. And I'm not saying you're saying this by a long shot. I'm just using examples that may have occurred, right? Do you have the ability to take risks? Sometimes we have to spend a bit of money to get into some tools that are going to give us the opportunity to evolve a little bit or to have an upper end. And I know they don't give them away. I understand that. I assure you it's not $10 a month, right? We're very, very fortunate we got back up. We have so much for $10 a month. But out there, when you start buying tools or utilizing tools to make yourself known out there, it's not $10 a month. It'll start at 50 and up and so forth. So the fact here is sometimes you have to have the ability to take risks to grow and to evolve, or to take risks to go into an event, drive 2 hours to an event, or there's always an excuse why you can't attend. So the other thing too is, do you have the sense of innovation and creativity? Sometimes you have to create. You have to be creative on your approach, in the things you say, in the system you put together, in ideas that you have that you're promoting within the organization. And sometimes you take a bit of a risk by putting yourself out there and creating, innovating. It's all tied together. And that's the difference between a great leader and a leader. And the other thing that's important is also to have the ability to make quick decisions. Sometimes you have to think fast in your feet. And if you have a great support system, you can consult with maybe someone in your leadership that has more experience than you do, to consult with you on what would be the best approach, so I can make a decision on where we want to go from here. Should I take the VIP or not? I think you should, because there's a lot of great assets in there. So I'll take the risk. I'll spend a little bit more money to have more tools to be able to move forward, to be able to do my videos and add those videos into my emails so I can increase the quality of my email campaigns. Right. So, and the last point here is, do you recognize your mistakes rather easily? You know, sometimes making a mistake, it takes courage to admit it publicly that you made a mistake. But it's great leadership. You are a human being, and as humans, we make mistakes, and they're honest mistakes very often, most of the time, I should say. And the fact here is, you will find that your team will actually not only sympathize, but will respect you for being honest about a situation, a mistake you made. Everybody understands that we make mistakes. It's part of evolving. Nobody ever does everything perfectly their entire lives. In fact, mistakes are an important stage of growth, because through mistakes you learn a lot more than when you don't make mistakes. Because when you don't make mistakes, you don't tend to change anything. You just stay the course. But when you make mistakes, that's when you start recognizing, I need to improve this. I need to do this. I need to learn that. And you become that better person. And then there's different layers of leadership that occurs through mistakes. But the fact is, sometimes it's important to acknowledge them, even publicly. So the fact here is, this is really coming to the end of our training here, folks. It's not a long training, but such an important training. And understand that if you want to thrive in your business, you need to develop leadership. So if you happen to be in momentum in your business right now, I really start recommending that you find the people on your team that have reached the level of silver and gold, especially if they reach a level of gold, because a level of gold starts showing us some strong signs of leadership. And from there, start focusing on those people. If there's no goals, it's okay. That means that you still need to grow your organization. And if there's nobody in your team that are remotely close, you need to go get new people. That's the way the system works. And eventually, some people will see. And some people will go even faster than you. And when that happens, endorse it, recognize it, and appreciate it. And don't become envious and jealous of someone in your downline doing better than you. You wouldn't believe how many times Tammy and I have come across things like that has completely sabotaged the possibility of growth in an organization, because a leader that was very capable was unfortunately put in a disadvantage because of the conflicts and the jealousy, just because of the lack of understanding of what leading is all about. So what are your thoughts, Tammy, as we end this session?
And everybody builds this business, with different schedules. And you can never compare yourself to anybody else, ever, ever, ever. You may be a person that has a full-time job. You have children at home. You might have parents you're taking care of. So it's normal that you won't be able to put as much efforts into your business part-time like somebody else. Like, for example, Chris and I, kids are all grown up, got grandkids, but they're all growing up, and we're at home alone. So we do this full time. So nobody can compare their schedule, if they have crazy schedules and they're still working a job, to what we do. So I think a lot of people get discouraged in this profession because they don't think they do enough. Do what you can with the hours that you have. The most important thing is, what are you doing in that time that you're building your GotBackUp business? That's the most important thing. What are you doing with your time? Are you doing the necessities of building your business, which is connecting with people? Always connecting with people, new people, social media connections, all kinds of connections. There's always a way to meet people. If you say you don't know anybody, that's just an excuse. Stop making excuses. Make 2024 your year of no excuses, and your life will transform. But the hours that you do put in, make sure that those hours are extremely productive. If you don't have anybody in your team yet, then you need to do a lot of prospecting, inviting, following up, getting people started, getting your new people started right, and do the same process over and over and over. That's what we do. And as your teams start developing, you need to be there to guide them, plug them into the system. For example, we're doing this accountability group, and it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 a.m., 7 to 8 a.m.
Eastern.
Eastern time. It's on our Telegram group, and I promote it just before we get onto a session. And there's a small amount of people that are actually getting onto it. Maybe it wouldn't work in your schedule, but think about it. If it could work in your schedule, like you're not working kind of thing, right? Can you get up an hour earlier just to do this 1 hour of constant focused prospecting, contacting new people? What I noticed this week, because we just started on Monday, today, people are starting to get results. They're starting to get the presentations. They're starting to get the invites. They're starting to get connections. People are contacting them back. They're doing more numbers, and they're more engaged because they got some practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And today we even did a session at 8 to 9, just before this session, an hour, well, early this morning. So it's all on the Telegram, you guys. If you really want things to change for 2024, you need to step it up a notch. And this is being tough love. It's being a leader that will guide, inspire, and encourage people to do the things that are necessary, because you'll work harder when people are looking at you. And after the session, everybody gives their numbers and everybody tells them what they were up to. Some people kept the conversations going. I know Dr. Kowe, I know that you had signups in your first session because you kept the conversations going. And so others were just making those connections. And
Dr. Kowe actually brings people every single week.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tammy.
Yeah.
I just thought of that, a little bit of a plug. And the thing here, folks, Tammy and I really appreciate all of you that are participating. Kim, great, phenomenal feedback. Dr. Curry, thank you so much also for participating. And many of you also, Bill, I shared some great insights.
Bill, Linda, yeah,
Rira.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Anyonam, Mary, yeah. And Leo was on the last couple ones. So it's starting to grow. Marie Paul, and it's starting to grow. Some are getting on different segments. So I'm trying to think of who was on what, but it's fun. And we learn from each other, because each one would say what each one's doing. And we're learning every single time on what others are doing to get their connections.
Yeah. And wonderful, Kim. This is very exciting here. We have 25 rank up this week, and this is it. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And this is why we want to finish this session on this note. Make sure you take the time to log into your virtual office and see who has ranked, and promote them within your groups, which is either Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or Telegram or email, whatever it is that your system that you communicate with your team. If you don't have that, I do recommend you start. And if you don't have one, plug into one that is part of it. And I know we're very proud that our Telegram group, we're crossing almost, I think we might have about 500 people in the group now. And only 5-10% participate. The rest are sitting back and they're watching and they're commenting from time to time. And that's totally cool. It's part of the process. But have a group for you to plug into, and try not to just sit on the sidelines, but take an active role. Take an active role. We need to do more of that. We live in a society today where the reason why the power that be, I'm talking within, again, not to get political here, but the reason why our governments have so much power over all its people, it's because people are very passive. And they're just, and I know there's groups out there that are making noise, right? And again, I don't want to turn this into a political situation. I'm talking about you as a business owner. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect things to be fixed. because someone else will handle it. You become that leader. That's what the call is all about. You be that leader and you voice your knowledge, your expertise, your ideas. As a matter of fact, we need that. The world needs more active people that are involved. Be involved in your business. Don't be in a passive role in your business. Be in an active forefront role of your business. Just this session that we just did here today, that's ending in about 30 seconds here, could actually make a significant difference in your business, maybe even in your life, because I know it has impacted Tammy and I. So Tammy, was there anything else you want to end as we finish this session?
Have a phenomenal weekend. Keep talking to people and always work on yourself. That's very, very important. Grow as a leader.
Wonderful. Well, be that leader, folks. The world need your voice. Voice it. Don't stay in the background. We need your voice. So have yourself a wonderful, great of your rest of your weekend. And next Saturday, again, we'll be here with another topic. And again, the topics are always in line to help you advance into your business, but take an active role. Don't just sit back, listen, and go back and watch Netflix. Take an active role and make some calls, connect with people, make a connection, turn into a conversation that will lead into a new business partner. Everybody have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend, and bye for now.